On the tour today, aiming for love or just practicing to be the next in line after this guy. TDM's chiropractor weaves her magic. Hyundai's new assembly plant gets the go-ahead. Or is that just a whole lot of bull? Mayhem Moment of Truth. 1693. In this year, the letter W was invented, revolutionizing the written word in the space of a week, or as it was previously known, an eek. And it was the first recorded kiss in Lithuania. Things improved slightly once women were included, but only slightly. And as you're about to see, not much has changed since then. Every Valentine's Day, Lithuania's hottest lip lockers gather here at the Saliva nightclub deep in the heart of the nation's capital, Vilnius, for the annual Lithuanian Kiss-a-thon. We asked promoter Zitko Grosby why they do it.
As February the 14th was approaching, we thought, well, why not to do this kind of thing? It only seems very natural, and that's the only possible explanation that there is to it.
While DJ Backstabber Jones warmed up the crowd with the latest Lithuanian dance tracks, this year's contestants warmed up backstage. Favorites, Jurgi Grobala and his partner Morta Petrus looking nervous. Morta still recovering from a potential career-ending lower lip injury. Their main challenge likely to come from Uta Vlip and Shadi Flak. The flip-flak combination exponents of the very dangerous skull crusher technique, a kiss banned in Belarus. Contestants on the starting grid now, all in readiness, and they're off. To the uninitiated, a kiss is but a kiss. But the keen of eye will notice the many different techniques on display here. There's the ham sandwich, for instance. The Amazon noticed the river of dribble, very popular with the over 40s and inebriated, a timeless classic. The luge, a Norwegian kiss, I believe, and my favorite, the Berlin Wall, very popular on subways, I'm told. Let's look at that again in slow motion. Just the slightest hint of lip connection. And that reminds me I must defrost my refrigerator. In the end, though, it was Jurgi and Morta who sealed victory with this finishing move, the snail on a mirror. Is it hot in here, or is that just me? We're back in England now, in the small village of Witcham, which is the international headquarters of one very unusual sport. Since 1971, the townsfolk, many of whom are slightly odd, have visited the rest of the world to watch and participate in their favourite peculiar pastime. Pea-shooting, yep, pea-shooting. Even the most passive of folk can't help themselves, while some women even target their ex-boyfriends. This guy's just shooting whatever's in his mouth. Peas, corn, a bit of celery from yesterday. Regurgitating comes in handy, but just be sure to bring up peas, not carrots. Vincent the Viking. Not only is he using a long pole to steady himself, but a laser-guided sight as well. Better watch out for him on the next presidential drive-through. Here's Vinny's main rival, Death Adder Dave. He's a spitter, so there's lots of wiping up to do. Blech. Vinny's feeling the pressure, but his first shot is a bullseye. That's a sparrow. Extra points there. Normally, Dave can't hit the side of an elephant. But not today! Bit of shush, please. They're about to announce the winner. Oh, will you speak up, lad? We can't hear at the back. What's he saying? Vincent the Viking is victorious. See, kids, bend the rules far enough and the world's your oyster. But what's victory without the perks? Hey, looks like the losers are taking aim. Next up, TDM's own version of Angry Birds. There's a whole lot of shaking going on. Police are looking for a tall woman in men's clothing and... if you don't eat your fish, you can't have your pudding. Singapore oyster-shucking sensation David Fu had a dream. To somehow combine all the grace and elegance of ballet with some good old-fashioned psychotic violence. But on a shell-shucker's salary, he was working on a tight budget. So he roped in some bored housewives and started... Mega Insane Lady Fighters. Every Friday night, they turn this senior citizens bingo hall into a sweaty cauldron of womanly warfare and hair-pulling hijinks, and the sellout crowds just can't get enough. Every Friday night, they pack the arena, hoping to catch a glimpse of stars like the Cleveland Bomber, Cookie Brown, and her atomic leg drop. Ooh, who does your hair? Me! Ah! Crowd favourite, mother of four and one half of the current tag team champions, Peggy Pretzel, loves the adrenaline rush and bright lights.
After a big match, I am so excited, I have to put myself in a sleeper hold just to get some shut-eye.
Thanks, Peggy. Of course, women fighting in the public is nothing new. Anybody who's been to a shoe sale knows that. And yes, the action does get pretty hot. There's usually about 12 fights a night, 9 in the ring, 1 in the crowd, and 2 in the car park. Yes, I said 2. Oh, that music can only mean one thing. Time now for the main event. The Hammer Wendy Hong, 34-year-old mother of 2, versus the Glamazon Susie Ling, 33 and with 4 mouths to feed. Irish whip reversal, reversal, jackknife powerbomb, and looking madder than a midget with a yo-yo, big clothesline. Oh, the Hammer nails it. And then follows up with a big oyster hoister. Fu will love that. Let's see that again on our slow-mo slam cam. Wonderful stuff, truly poetry in slow motion. Only a 2 count though. The Glamazon regroups and sets up for the Singapore Sling. 2 parts brandy, 3 parts pain. Off the ropes, Taipan kick, Taipan kick. Ring the bell, this one is over. Ling, sweating like a camel in a cardigan, down on one knee now, paparazzi on hand, sweat dripping from her like a fountain of victory. She suddenly realizes she's left the oven on. Yee-haw! Believe it or not, we're in the Philippines for the first ever Western-style rodeo. Ouch! The bulls are grumpy, but so are the cowboys. You'd not touch me. And speaking of grumpy, I don't think waving a red pair of underpants at a bull is such a good idea. See what I mean? That there's some mighty impressive scrambling, partner. The crowd loves every minute of it, but I think they're just pacing themselves for the rest of the show. Heck, I've seen tumbleweeds get more excited than this. Finally, the crowd has noticed that there's only one bull. You see, the riders aren't getting better, the poor bull's just getting tired. Yep, different rider, same bull again, but this time they've put super glue on the saddle. Nice ride, cowboy. Not sure about all that hugging, though. Time now for some fancy roping action. And what a surprise, there's that bull again. You're about to see how they bring him down Philippine style. I say, son, you dating that bull or dropping it?
Help me! Get this big bull off me!
Now that the only bull in the Philippines has collapsed from exhaustion, the cowboys have had to make their own fun. And what better than a tug of war? Everyone's having a ball. Well, almost everyone.
Hello? I'm still here.
Yes, there can be no doubting that Herta Girl is Russia's most famous #1 bodyguard in the world. So says Yuri Zarkov, former head of Russia's KGB. There's no denying she really does bring a woman's touch to this male-dominated sport. Girdle gained international acclaim for her many wonderful disguises. Here she is, protecting a young Prince Harry. Keeping a close watch over a nervous but always smiling Angelina Jolie, or this elaborate disguise she used when protecting German Chancellor Angela Merkel at the recent Berlin Sausage Festival. Genius! Who would have guessed? Girdle began her bodyguarding career as a junior in the 6th grade, protecting the 1st and 2nd graders for lunch money. She later joined the ranks of Russia's amateur bodyguards whilst completing her degree at Boris Andropov's world-famous MBU, the exclusive Moscow Bodyguard University. Turning pro, she reached the #1 ranking in 2008 after her stunning save of celebrity chef Jamie Oliver in what became known as the butter knife incident, and in the process, leapfrogging the formidable Ali brothers in the rankings. Girdle's old rifle range instructor, Vladimir Pushkin, is quick to sing her praises. Da, she's very good for the shot, always. She's, for sure, how you say, shooter sharp. Which is very good news for Herta, as bodyguarding expert and part-time barman Brigadier Montgomery Mountjoy explains.
A lot of bodyguards in Russia are actually dying.
We're not 100% sure, Monty, but it could be Herta that's killing them. Welcome one and all to Port Lincoln, Australia. For the annual tuna-toss contest, the crowd's ready, and the tuna is stinky. Pwah! First up, it's cross-eyed Kathy. Can't throw straight to save her life. That's Bouncy Betty. No one can make a tuna bounce like she can. 3 bounces, that's worth a few 50s. Nice. The crowds come from far and wide to see the big throws. You know, the really big throws. Not that one. And these enterprising kids are waiting to grab the flying fish that land in the water. Great plan with one tiny flaw. They're not reaching the water. Holy mackerel! Helen Karp's won her 3rd trophy. The world's tackiest mantelpiece is about to get even tackier. Time for the fellas now, and Big John Dory has chucked a big one. Oh, but he's landed in the sand trap. That's gonna cost him. One-arm Willie is showing off his special technique. Oh, lovely bounce, but he's landed in the bunker too. That's cross-eyed Kathy's husband, cross-eyed Craig. Yep, no surprises there. Here come the big guns. This bloke only just missed the Olympic cut, and he's only just missed the ocean now too. But the crowd still loves his work. Big Marlin's up next. He's a bit of a red herring as we've not seen him in action before. He's picked the biggest tuna of the lot, and that should count on the scoreboard. Finally, it's our youngest competitor, Harley. He's thrown a sardine a long way. Harley can't be bothered with the plaque. He's taking home dinner instead. Next stop, the TDM catering crew arrive late and spill the beans. And the soup. Look, it's not funny. Well, maybe a little bit. Our next story is all about snorkelling with big whales. Something doesn't seem right. Hold on. Make that bog snorkelling in Wales. Still doesn't explain the Aussie lifeguards or why so many people are standing around a freezing cold paddock.
3, 2, 1, go!
Bog snorkelling isn't quite the national sport of Wales, but it's definitely a very popular pastime for both the lads and lasses.
3, 2, 1, go!
It's cold, smelly, muddy, exhausting. Personally, I just don't see the appeal. Now, either this bloke has taken the term Iron Man a bit too far, or he's the most dedicated house husband on the planet. Let's hope he irons straighter than he swims. Oi, mind the pole! Last year, he did this with a vacuum cleaner on his back. Let's hope he tries a refrigerator next year. Oh, thank you. Stop, you're embarrassing me.
3, 2, 1, go!
Bog snorkelling, or swimming along a trench cut through a peat bog, was first thought of in a pub. Why doesn't that ever surprise me? Competitors have to rely on flipper power alone, which can become exhausting and excruciating in this thick mud soup. The spectators really feel for these poor, struggling swimmers. Well, most of them do. Hang about! Do you hear that? Either someone had baked beans for breakfast, or those flippers are petrol-powered. Either way, you're disqualified. And speaking of which, competitor 39 was disqualified for taking a wrong turn into the town's sewage plant, while competitor 43 was last spotted somewhere in the English Channel. So that just leaves this guy as the winner. Unfortunately, the cup fell into the bog and shrunk. At Cambridge University's esteemed Sir Isaac Newton Hall, the students here champion Newton's immortal words, "What goes up must come down." Just 20 miles west of here, at the Sir Isaac Newton Raceway, a team of different champions share a similar philosophy.
This year, we've done something a bit different. We've shortened the run-up, but we've steepened the height of the ramp. So we want to see not only the furthest, the highest. So the winner today will be the car that goes the highest in the air, not necessarily how many cars jump.
Sounds like one of these might be a good idea then. A quick check of conditions and all seems in readiness. So it's time now to cross to our callers, 106.6 Spirit FM's very own Ronnie McGee and Showtime Bertie Shaw. First up is Dino Bren, a mechanic from Stoke. And remember, groovers at Spirit FM, the cracking tunes just keep coming. Cracking, but rubbish. Next up is Tommy Green. It says here, Bertie, that Tommy is a chef. Cordon bleu. Well, he certainly made a meal out of that. Ronnie, hello, Dino's back. He's like a bad curry. He just keeps on repeating. Ah, this should be good, Bertie. It's Brian Clegg. Clegg is a big fan of classical ballet, apparently.
Aye.
That was more Swan Dive than Swan Lake. Don't worry, everyone. Our highly trained paramedics are on the scene.
Aye.
Good idea, Bertie. Check his eyes. Here comes Sid the Skid Barker. A perfect landing, that. Just like an elephant in an egg factory. Sunny side up, Bertie.
Aye.
It's okay. He's not dead, everyone. Our last daredevil is the wild man from Westchester, Glenn Beavis, who likes to keep it simple.
It's a gamble when you take off how you're going to land.
I've heard Russian pilots say the same thing.
Aye.
I've seen Russian pilots land the same way.
Aye.
Let's see that again in slow motion from our exhaust cam Bertie. Bertie! Where did Bertie go? Crack and jump, that. Absolutely cracking. Hang about. It looks like we've got a late entry. It's Bertie Shore in the Spirit FM broadcast van. Aye! Bertie, did we win?
Aye.
Kraken! The quaint, if not picturesque, Russian village of Molotov is a town in perpetual celebration. It's just been named Russia's drunkest village, and the townsfolk, famous for their cocktail parties and liver transplants, couldn't be happier. Parliament is sitting today, and we're just in time to see some of Molotov's democracy at work, voting on a new amendment to the Natural Resources Bill. Pour bottles up against bottles down. We asked Molotov's mayor, Malvina Krug, if she thought heavy drinking created good governance.
You see, the beauty of vodkonomics is a sobriety test. If you are found to be sober, you cannot vote.
I'm merely here for the Rasputin lookalike contest, after coming a runner-up in the Brad Pitt pageant. So, hands up who's drunk now. Till next time, tourists.